Hello, I'm Ramzan and this is Your Money. This time last year, Pape Souaré, the Senegal and Crystal Palace defender, was involved in a car crash which left him with broken thigh and jawbones. He wasn't just fighting for his career, but much, much more.
I thank God right now to be alive.
Focus on Africa's sport. Ramzan, there is only one thing.
There is only one thing, and I'm not going to surprise you. I'm going to start with the World Cup, and we already now know the lineup for the quarterfinals, which will take place on Friday and Saturday. The first two games on Friday will see two of Europe's best teams take on two of South America's best teams.
You're watching BBC Focus on Africa. Time for some sport now. Here's Ramzan.
Thank you very much, Nancy. And let's start with football. The Egypt Football Association has named a shortlist of 4 coaches to replace Hector Cooper as the Pharaoh's new coach. A Colombian, a Spaniard, a Bosnian and a Mexican are all in the running to replace an Argentinian. No Egyptian or African representation again. Now let's get more on this with our man in Cairo, Mohammed Kotba. Mohammed, explain that. Still no Egyptian or African on that list.
The Egyptian Football Association wanted to maintain the presence of a foreign manager in the position of the manager of the Egyptian football team.
Ramzan, really shocking news coming into the newsroom earlier. Yeah, so tell us about this. Nigeria's captain.
Yes, so John Obi Mikel, his father, was kidnapped last Tuesday. And what we know is that just 4 hours before the game, a family member called him before the game against Argentina last Tuesday, which was their crucial game because they needed to qualify for the knockout stages, which they failed to do. He was told that his father had been kidnapped. I don't know how anyone plays when you've been given news like that, but he said that 180 million Nigerians were relying on him, so he had to play. We end with football, and last night Manchester United were beaten at home by Spurs. The score, well, I'll let the Red Devils under-fire manager Jose Mourinho tell you.
Do you know what this means? 3-0, but also mean 3 premierships. Respect, man, respect, man.
3 seconds, I think, to say goodbye.
Three. Respect, man, respect, man.
So what exactly is robo-advice? Don't worry, you won't have to see a scary chap like him, but you won't even have to see a human being. In fact, you can get everything you need off a mobile phone app.
You're watching BBC Focus on Africa. It's now time for some sports. Ramzan, my man, take it away.
Thank you very much, Peter. And it's no surprise, it's a busy weekend of World Cup qualifiers across the continent. The first of 10 games kicks off tonight, with Libya playing North Africa rivals Tunisia in their second Group A World Cup qualifier in Algeria. How do you feel the team progressed? Were you proud of your achievements? Because there were difficult circumstances.
I did. I mean, it is unprecedented in the history of Liberian football.
Our business reporter, Ramzan Kamali, has been finding out about the potential pitfalls.
In the UK, you can qualify for a shared ownership scheme if you earn less than £60,000 a year. However, that figure is higher in London at £77,200 a year. Typically, you'll own between 25 and 75% of the property, but you'll end up paying rent on the share of the home that you don't own. If you break down in the UK, the chances are you'll call out the AA. It's the biggest roadside assistance company in the country. It has 14 million customers, and last year it came to the aid of 3.5 million motorists who found themselves in distress. It's a very British company, but now it's got its sights on a brand new market. This is Victoria Road in the borough of Kensington and Chelsea. Earlier this month it was named Britain's most expensive street. In fact, around 3 years ago, this house sold for over $13 million. But there are signs of cooling in this luxury end of the market. You might think of the working holiday as something from yesteryear, like this, or perhaps gap year trips to far-flung places. But working vacations here in the UK are growing in popularity. So why are more and more people willing to roll up their sleeves and pitch in rather than relaxing on a sandy beach? Now, a story I can certainly relate to, a German team. That's Borussia Mönchengladbach. Certainly saw the funny side when a flustered Scottish pub landlord failed miserably in his attempts to spell their team's name, and in the end just called them a German team on his advertising board. The Bundesliga team made up 2,000 scarves like this one behind me, and unsurprisingly, they all sold out pretty quickly. And he's training hard. Football has been all he's ever dreamed of.
It's a very good feeling because, you know, I was young growing up in Africa. The thing is, we all wanted to become professional footballer, so I had a thing who could stop my career. So here after I can run and play, I'm just very excited.
And I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. And sadly, this is the last show of the year. But don't worry, we're back in early January. And you can still keep up to date while we're gone by clicking on the Your Money pages on the BBC website.